Hello everybody, here I'm back. This is now the first turn of the La Lorraine scenario. It's a training scenario or a beginning scenario for 1914 Offensive Outerance by GMT Games. It's played only on the southern map, and I learned recently that actually you can download a particular scenario map for this from the Consim World website, if you like, but you can also take the southern map from the actual game. Of course, then you will have a much bigger map than you need, but it doesn't really matter. I actually like the fact that I don't have to print it off, because printing maps is actually not so easy on the ink, and the results are never as good as I would like them to be. So what's happened? Well, this is the first turn, so there was no repair work, nothing, no replacement points in this scenario anyway. So the way this works is that first the phasing player, and in this case this is the French, get to do their movement phase. They have 9 movement points per unit, and movement points can be used for all kinds of things. You can either use them for actual movement, and then you have to use the terrain effects chart, or you can also use it, for example, to rally your troops if they have lost combat effectiveness, and so on and so forth. Now, seeing as this is the first turn and everybody starts at full effectiveness, I had 9 points per unit for movement, and I have moved the first of all, I've moved the first army down here towards the east, because I want to form a line, a front line here, to keep those Germans at bay as soon as they become activated, which is not going to happen until I think, let me check, they are not active until turn weird. Where is the information on that? I'll have to check, but I think they only become active on turn 2. Yeah, they become activated on turn 2. So for the time being, they're just basically stationary. If I wanted to, I could activate them by the French players attacking them, but of course I don't really want to, because before I want to get any combat done, I would like to have a really nice front line here. And as you can see, there is quite a lot of mountainous terrain here, so moving from where they were in the beginning, the French First Army, here to here takes actually 2 turns in order to form a nice front line. So nothing happening for the first, so the first has just moved. And the second French army has also moved, and as you can see, I've moved in here also to the east, because I would like to achieve my strategic plans. I want to take Saarbrücken, which is up here, and I want to take Saargmund, which is here, and I also want to take Metz, which is up here. Now, my idea was to pass between these 2 parts of the 6th German army, because there was a gap. And the way the game works is that first the phasing player gets 9 movement points to expend on tasks and or movement, and then immediately after that the opposing player gets 5 movement points for each of their units, so that they can actually counteract whatever you're doing. And as you can see, the Germans, the 7th army here hasn't moved because they're not active, but the 6th has. So they have now actually moved in, and as you can see, they have now buffed these 2 hexes, or at least this hex. They have brought in their artillery up here. They've moved their supply core trains as well. And especially up here, they have started to race the Germans for Metz. So now all of these troops are moving in towards Metz, because of course I want to hold that position. So that is now the movement phase over. Now we have the attack phase, in which the phasing player conducts all of his fortress bombardments and combat unit attacks. Now, Now I have to decide if I want to engage in combat. Combat is never mandatory unless you have a prepared attack marker, which I don't at the moment. So I could choose to attack any hexes that I'm adjacent to. So I could attack these guys here, which are inactive, or I could attack these and these units, or this unit and this unit and this unit and these units if I wanted to. But it's really like in any game, you really have to think twice what you're going to be doing, because you don't really know what's in the stack. In the actual game, you're not allowed to look at the stacks of your opponent. You can only ever see the top unit. And I mean, I play against myself, so it's not like there is quite a lot of competition, although of course I want to make the best move, whichever side I'm playing at the moment. But I also don't make it a point to look at the stacks. So when I stack the units, I stack them from a strategic point of view, but then I don't really keep track in my head of which size the units are. So I think the best bet for the French player is to attack up here. So I'm just gonna move the camera a little bit. The best bet would be to attack here, because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units from the French side attacking one German unit. So we can compute the odds, and I'm going to stop this now, and I'm going to upload this particular clip now, and then I'm going to do a combat clip, because combat, it's not difficult, but I would like to give it its own video.